doing all this business stuff and whatnot, and doing all this community work, we're not doing family work. You gotta really get in tune with really getting back to the family. Like, sit down with your family. You need the space, you need the time, and you need some food.
It ain't that hard to get family together.
Yeah, I'm just tryna run a checkup like a doctor. All of them are acting, need an Oscar. I just want a couple grand and make the family proud. I'm sick of penny pinching like a foster. I need some pension off these writtens. They always want a discount, but don't add on to my distance. I do this all in love, and best believe it's still a business. Can't flip commas off your comments, I can't compound off your interest. Can't be cold-hearted though, got my corpse from the stove. Had a coat with the portions of pain, it was potent. They cloaked at my pain, strokes from Jehovah, but still I got.
Peace, family. Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast.
We in here.
We are the #1 podcast for families
We in here.
seeking to end generational dysfunction.
We
What's
doing
good,
it,
cousin?
man. We doing it, cuz, man. You know
We
what
are.
I mean? We seeking, but also we showing in action, baby. We showing it, baby.
Yes,
but
sir.
let me get not talking too much because we got another one, man. You know, we always bring lineage leaders to the table, man, so y'all can so y'all can see how dope, you know, the black community is, man. They say we ain't dope, but we a bunch of dope individuals. Excuse
This
me, y'all.
podcast unifies for sure.
And today, you know, we got another
excited.
good one.
I'm excited.
We got our sister Chenel. Go ahead and let them know what you got going on, Chenel, so they can know what's up, so they can know how dope our community is.
What's up, community? Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here today. My name is Chenel. I'm founder, CEO of Choice Wellness Company. And it's just a privilege. It's a privilege to sit down with y'all brothers. And, you know, we all I-State. That just gets me. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that.
For sure.
Yeah.
But you know, just to be here, my space is real health and wellness and sharing health and wellness because, you know, we all deal with health, right? And
Real
so
talk.
many different aspects, right? It's not just the physical. It's not just the food. You got social wellness. You got environmental wellness. You got financial wellness, intellectual wellness. You know, so we got wellness. We all come together. So I'm glad to be here with y'all to share a little bit, to talk a little bit, talk about family. That's my favorite. I love family. Family is everything, right?
Yeah.
Even though they might get on our last nerve, family is everything. So it's just good to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and you finished, man. You said you hit it right on key. We represent a 360, 720 environment, meaning that we go through it all. It's just not one way to handle health, not just one way to end a dysfunction.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you definitely fit. And I want to ask you this. You know, we're gonna dive right into it. What got you on this journey of health? What made you want to dive in and teach the world and create the programs and do everything you're doing for health?
Good question. You know, it was a calling. It's definitely a calling. I wanted to help people. I wanted to be a physician, an anesthesiologist is what I really wanted to be. And the more I got into the sciences, that wasn't what I was interested in. I was still wanted to, like, how can I affect change right now? How can I give some information right now and people take that, let it sink in, and do something transformational? So once I went to I-State, graduated, got into corporate, and it was cool doing the physical, right? Doing the gyms, teaching the yoga. That was all cool. But then what happened was you still got people who deal with chronic diseases, right? And they don't know what to do. They don't even know that, you know, my blood pressure affects my headaches, or my blood pressure is a silent killer. They don't know about cholesterol. They just don't know. And so I realized, like, real quick, I want to be that vessel, right? Because that's what was downloaded into me in school, like, be that vessel to share all this knowledge and how the body works. And so once I got into that and understood people appreciate that, one, they got to trust you, right? Because they're not about to share their health information and they don't trust you. So you got to be trustworthy, that people want to open up to you and know, like, I could trust them with my health. I could do that. So once I got into that and I realized people would be like, you know, that information you gave me, I started doing it and things changed. And I'm like, what? It really? like that. So once I started to hear that, it just started to motivate me even more to want to be the vessel of carrying health and sharing health, because it's wealth. We don't realize that, we need healthy, we need a healthy population, healthy families. And it's not just healthy in your physical. Again, if financially you ain't healthy, how do you move? How do you operate? So it's just a calling that I have. That's my gifting. So since 2005 I've been into this game, and it's serious. It's not even a game anymore. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
We call it a lifestyle.
Real talk.
I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that too.
Yeah.
There's so many questions I want to ask pertaining to that. But before we get into that, I want to shout out your son, DK. He behind the scenes doing his thing.
Yes.
Shout out to DK. We're going to put his information below this video as well, so y'all can go check him out as well.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's a family affair, and she brought her son with her to witness the podcast and be behind the scenes, just to be a fly on the wall. We've been yearning from him. He's been yearning from us, and that's how we build community as a collective.
Yep.
So shout out to you, DK.
Real talk.
DK plays.
Yeah.
Absolutely. DK plays on YouTube. Check him out.
Yeah. Playing that new Madden, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I told him too. I was like, hey, I'm trying. I'm definitely want to hop on them sticks. See if I still got it.
I just want to hop on the stream with you and talk crazy. Let me talk. let me
You
be
gotta talk
the
to the trolls.
Yeah, I want to talk crazy to everybody. Let me hop on there and talk crazy. I like talking crazy.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you this. Can you talk a little bit about your upbringing? Because if our listeners haven't noticed now, you have a different accent than people from the Midwest.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about where you're from and your upbringing, and we're gonna tie that into the Chenel you are today.
Absolutely. So the upbringing was a blessing. I'll definitely tell you that. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, right?
Brooklyn
BK
in the
all day.
house.
We in the building. I told him BK come out when it's business time. We got put that face on. But my parents moved me here when I was young, and to the west. I came from Crawfordsville, Montgomery County, and went to school there. And the one thing, once I left Brooklyn, I noticed young, it was nobody that looked like us. I was in a culture shock, really culturally shocked. I was so used to being around family, church family, and that was not there anymore. And so I had to really grow up and mature quickly, because the things that were pointed out, your skin's so dark, why you talk like that, why your hair look like, these are not things that I was accustomed to. So then I had to defend myself. But the one thing my mother did, though, she would send me to Brooklyn every summer. Soon as school got out, the day after, my sister and I, we was on that flight out back to Brooklyn, back to the East Coast. And so it was fun, it was like playing in the park, playing in the water, the water, what is those hydrants? The water hydrants. Yeah, right? So it was just, all we wanted to do was go to the park, play basketball, go to the park, go to the swings. And with that, both my sides, my mother's side and my father's side, everybody, my mother's in East New York, my father's on Rockaway Avenue, so then I had to go to one grandmother and stay a few weeks, and I had to go to another grandmother, stay a few weeks, and I had to go to auntie, she lived in Long Island. That had another auntie living in the Hamptons. So it was just an amazing upbringing, not realizing what my mother was doing and making sure I saw both sides of, life. School, when I got back, it was school. It was time to get busy. It was time to focus. And it was hard to focus, but I look forward to summertime. I look forward to going back to New York. So that kept me locked in, that kept me grounded, and gave me always a different perspective than my peers. So that was growing up, and I mean that happened up until I left to go to college. Really, that's where she kept us, and that was just her love for us. Even though you gotta have a better life. We want you to see other things, but we still gotta take you back to where we're from, what that looks like. So hanging out with cousins and cousin relationships, y'all know those are important.
Very important.
They're important. They're valuable cousin relationships. I thank God for the cousins. And so that's how I grew up, in a nutshell, really. But I got to see different things, and I had to code switch, quickly. Because when I got to New York, you talk so proper, you talk so differently, because they would say I would lose my accent, it wasn't as New York. But then when I got here, it was still a different story.
Yeah.
So I had to be independent.
Yeah.
I had to be confident in myself, because everywhere I go, it was always something.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was just who is God made you to be? I had to figure that out. I had to become an adult to figure that out, and be more comfortable with that. But I knew I'm not that person. I'm not that person. I'm Chenel. I'm just me. So that was the upbringing. It was church. Church kept me grounded for sure. There was this little Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies in Crawfordsville that really kept us focused at Wabash College. And
Really?
these kids would come pick us up. These college kids would come pick us up and take us every Tuesday and Thursday to the campus and help us study, take us on trips, just do things with us. That's how I got to experience Alvin Ailey, went to Purdue, went to DePaul, went to the Classic. That's how I saw my environment here in the Midwest, by this Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies. And that also kept me focused throughout the school year. So I had some good touch points that were so important and so valuable.
That's dope. That's dope. And I want to go back on something you said with the culture shock, because I just had a culture shock myself, because I always hear how everybody say it's different outside of Indiana. You know what I mean? How you was like, how when you came here, it was more people asking your skin tone and all that, because everybody that grew up here in Indiana, everybody my skin tone, we all got called burnt back biscuit in elementary. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a different, I guess, tone outside the Midwest. In the Midwest Indiana, let me just speak for Indiana. In Indiana, it's really, our culture is just now really growing. I see it just now starting to bloom. We just now starting to actually make something out of it. You know what I mean? But it was just culture shocking to me myself. So I can just imagine how it would be and how much information you can actually obtain and gain from that. Because it's like, that, hey, y'all, this is what I learned from just hearing you saying that it's possible. It is possible we all can be black and see each other at the grocery store, see nothing but black folks, see nothing but us, So, it was just culture shock to me. I don't know why I threw that out there. I just want to say that.
You talking about when you went to Ohio?
Nah, I'm just talking about just now when she was saying that. When she was, like when she said, she's not the only one who told me, but it just hit me like, damn, it's really like that here in Indiana. Like, damn, you know what I mean? I guess because I have been traveling more. I've been traveling more, but anyway, yeah, I guess it just hit me like that. Like, damn, it's really like that here in Indiana. That
it's different.
That somebody can come from an environment where
you don't see nothing but you.
And y'all never said, dang, man, you burnt back biscuit. Y'all ain't never heard that joke? No. That's crazy.
No.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That one.
That's crazy.
That one.
That's
we
crazy.
Other stuff, but not
Everybody,
that one.
we all was called burnt back biscuits.
Wow,
it's always something, right?
Yeah, here in Indiana.
I didn't know about the institute at Wabash College.
Yeah.
I would have never even, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
That's wild. Is it still there?
It's absolutely still there. They might have different program, but it was interesting. The professional who they brought in, his name was Horace Turner. He's from Jersey.
Okay.
Right? So East Coast, right?
Yep.
So understanding the connections
Yep,
is key.
that's what I'm thinking.
Connections brings us up. We got to have those connections.
Okay.
He started that program, and he would sit me down. He would sit us down. We need to talk about what you're going to do with yourself. I'd be like, oh, God, why he want to talk about what I want to do with myself? Because I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. But he knew we going to have this talk. We going to have to know what we going to do with ourselves when we graduate. All I knew was these guys leave their home. They come to this town to go to school and study. It's an all-male college,
Yep.
And I want to do that too. That's all I could. That's how I saw myself. So we got to think, how are we teaching our generations to see themselves, right? How we teach them that? What does that look like?
That's deep.
My son, he been in business meetings since he was young. They be like, you got your little boy here? Yeah, I got my little boy here. He gonna sit down and be quiet. He gonna listen. So he know how to do the business meetings. So he know what's up at the business meetings because he have to see himself. It's not leave them at home. It's take them with you so they understand Robert's rules of voting and things like that. He has to know. You have to teach him that. That's our responsibility.
You're right. I know Cuz can speak to this more about, like, he involves his children with as much as he can with Lead Your Lineage and with the Original People Fashion brand. You want to speak about that?
And with life in general. My kids, I do everything with my kids. That's my dope. Kids, when I'm gardening, my kids garden with me. When I'm my kids, I'm already teaching my kids how to drive. I'm already teaching them driving principles, the signs right now, how to turn on your signal. So it's from A to Z with me. My daughter knows, my son and my daughter. I don't know if my son actually gets the concept yet. He 4, but my daughter, she definitely gets it. She knows how babies are made now. You know what I mean? I bought a book that goes into her and all that. I'm on a big belief that they have to know everything now because today, in today's world, they can just talk into a phone and who knows what the hell it'll bring up. You know what I mean? So I don't want my daughter going into that phone and be like, hey, how are babies made? And they start pulling up Pornhub and shit. You know what I mean? So I'm going to let my baby know, you ain't got to ask that phone. You ain't got to ask Siri. You ain't got to ask nobody. Daddy will let you know, or we can help look it up the correct way. You know, so because daddy don't know all the answers. So that's one thing I also teach my kids, how to be very independent, how to look up answers themselves. Don't ask daddy. Go figure it out. You know, I don't know. Go figure it out, even if I know stuff. But yeah, so I'm a big advocate on that too. My kids go to everything with me. All my business, my pop-up shops, my everything, like everything.
They got to know.
Yeah.
They got to know, because
So, yeah.
that's our future. And if you
Agreed.
don't teach them, the streets gonna teach them.
Agreed.
And that's what you don't want.
Agreed.
Right? So
Agreed.
you have to teach them. They gonna roll their eyes and suck their teeth, but you get ready, go on down here with me, and we gonna do what we need to do.
They have fun, and
they do.
And speaking of that, I want to get this into this too. We want them. You do so much dope stuff, man.
Absolutely.
Let them. Speak up on what you're doing because you be in the streets in a good way, you know. Nah, for real. You feel me? Nah, you be in the streets. You feel me in a good way, though. You know what I mean, baby? You be in the streets, bro. So that's why I said we speaking about the streets. We about to let them know how you putting the work in them streets. They be talking about putting in work. Let them know how you be putting in real work.
Let me tell you this story. I told my son this the other day. So there's this program called The First Tee, and I was living in Chicago, and my son, he grew up with his dad, and his dad was his coach, right? And I'm like, I was a little jealous of that, right? I was like, how am I gonna be my son's coach? When I'm gonna coach him? I don't play football, I don't play no sports, right? So I had the opportunity to learn the game of golf. I'm older, right? And they said, I went to this meeting for business, and they said, yo, do you work? Do you play golf? Nope, I don't play golf. Never played it in my life, but okay. But you work with kids. Yeah, I work with kids. All right, cool. Well, we're going to teach you, we're going to train you how to play golf, and so you can run our programs. Okay, I could do that. And you know, y'all play golf?
No.
Okay, you get up on that.
I'm learning.
You get up on that tee and you miss that ball a few times. You start sweating. You sweating before you get right. That ball's this big, and you got to hit that ball right, and you want it to fly, and you miss a couple times, and then it's like, oh Lord. Then you start shaking right. So I learned how to play golf, and I was able to, from that, learn that again, seeing myself. I was like, why you pick me? Because you look like our kids that we trying to bring into this game. So we need a lady who look like our kids. We can show you how to play. So they send me all around the country, show me how to play golf. But then what I got to do was coach my son how to play golf, because he had to come with me. He had to spend them summers on Lakeshore Drive at Jackson Park learning how to play golf and hitting them balls. So I was like, yes, Lord, you answered my prayers. I got to become his coach, right?
Yeah.
So you know, that's one thing. And then with the golf transition, I moved back here to Indiana, the racing capital of the world. And we have this amazing program here in Indianapolis called NXG. And it's racing, motorsports, engineering, STEM for children, teenagers, giving out scholarships, teaching them how to control the technology that controls the cars. And our kids need that, right?
Yeah.
Have y'all been to the track?
Never.
Elementary school.
Never. I ain't gonna lie
Okay,
to you.
so we make sure you got some tickets. Okay, we're gonna make sure you got some tickets. We're gonna make sure you got some tickets. But
Appreciate that.
these are the things that
real.
we need to be opening up and being on. You know, I became a part of NXG because I'm on the board of directors of that organization, and I never been to the track, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't want to go there. It's hot. I don't want to hear about the racing, but it's so fun. It's so much fun, right? The kids get to learn. They grow up in it. They learn this etiquette. They learn these things that if you're in that world, you're just in that world, but we're not in the world, right? Like in that space. So being a part of things that spaces and places that grow us, that grew me.
Yeah.
Golf grew me, racing grew me. I didn't grow up doing those things.
Yeah.
Then I got to bring my parents with me to see and bring my child, and then I get to spread the love to everyone else because you know I'm about like, yo, what we doing? Who know this? Who know that? Let's commingle. Let's do this. So we do that with the youth. I do a lot of youth activities and organizational inputs. I work
That's
with.
dope, man.
I work with kids in homicide. We do summer camps, teach yoga, teach them how to take that stuff out of their body, teach them about food education. Food is important. That brings a lot of our happiness, our diseases. Food does a lot for us, right? So the health and wellness is just very comprehensive for me. And what I don't know, I reach out to my partners. Because I don't know everything. We don't know everything, and that's when we can't be afraid to ask. We can't be afraid to go seek out the professionals in that specific space because somebody needs it.
1,000,000% in agreement with you. Wow.
Me too.
Well, that's amazing. I think the connection of growth, like with you teaching golf and with you getting exposed to NXG and exposing young people to racing, that helped. Essentially, what I heard you say, how I'm interpreting that is, that helped you walk in your purpose on purpose, even more because you're already on the health and wellness space on a comprehensive level. But just going in those different diverse spaces it gave you more equipment to elevate and educate our people.
Yep.
That's what I'm hearing, and that's amazing.
Yep.
Now, like growing up, being from the inner city, we don't hear anything about golfing or racing. We're nowhere near we don't live nowhere near the Indianapolis 500.
From out east too.
That's
all the way out west.
Yeah, absolutely. We ain't going over there. You know what I mean? We're not going over there.
I ain't from out there. I ain't going over there.
The depth perception is a little different.
And we don't. There was a golf course down the street from where I grew up though, but I wasn't going to the golf course. I could have walked there, but I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And it's just like now being an adult, looking back at all these resources that were available, but we just didn't. I don't know if it was a generational thing where our parents was like, hey, we just don't know how to expose you to this, or if it was us just not being open and receptive to the things that we were being exposed to. I think it's kind of like a 50-50 type situation.
They was working. You know, golf, you got to have a good 2-3 hours of leisure time, right? And then not to play about the golf clubs in the fit, right? And then the tee time and scheduling and the money that it requires. You're going to do something a little different, right? And that's just culturally, but we got to open up our kids to everything that's out there that's good for them. And sometimes we don't know what it is, and look and see what other people are doing. Because, you know, Tiger, he was that one for us that we knew we saw, but it may have not compelled too many because we saw it as far off. It seemed far away. we got to make things right here. And you said, you know, that's all the way on the west side,
for sure.
right? On the west side.
That's the general mindset of people in the city.
Yeah, on this side.
It's far. We don't go that far.
Yeah, people in Indianapolis, if you from out east, you stay out east. If you from out west, you stay out west. If you from out north and out south, you stay from out north and out south.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the dysfunction we have to break too.
Yeah.
But it's not it'll probably take you 20 minutes to get from each side of town, for real.
That's it.
But it's 20 minutes of stopping you from a possible exposure to your dream or somebody that can help you achieve your dream.
Right.
And it's like, wow, it was the box we put ourselves in by not exploring these different things. Mm-hmm. It's really profound, and it's insane too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing the same thing over and over with expecting a different result.
Yeah.
But anywho, I wanted to ask you this though: when you look at where you've been, how do you, and when we look at where you're going, right? What does it look like for you to include your family in the next season of Chenel that you're growing into?
Ooh, it's necessary. It's necessary.
Break it down.
It's necessary. I was just on the phone with my wealth management team, whomever. And they said, you know, you got this plan in 2019 or 2020, whenever I got the plan, and your father and your son's on the plan. I said, cool. I said, keep them on the plan because, you know, life is life. Life be lifing, right? Mm-hmm. So we was just talking about money, he and I, my son and I. And the more as I get older and realize, like, he has to know what he has coming. Right, so I just bought a house a few years ago. It was my first home. I didn't think about buying a home, but then after I thought about it, I was like, oh, once I get done with this home, I told my son, I said, you can keep it, you can rent it, you can sell it, whatever you want to do with the home, but the home is here, right? So now it's thinking about, how do I turn this over? What I'm acquiring, how do I support him, right? He's into stocks now. He reading books. You know, he's in Purdue engineering. He reads, right? So he like that nerd y'all talk about. He an intellectual. He's an intellectual, right? Brilliant. He's reading, and I'm like, I ain't reading about no stocks, right? Yeah. But what I told him was, if you need some flow, let me know. Yeah, I'll give it to you for what stocks you want, right? So that looks different where he gonna think, maybe I gotta do this stock thing on my own. You don't have to do this stock thing on your own. You reading about it. I see you reading, so now I wanna invest in it. Let me give you something. Let me give you a little bread so you could go ahead and invest in whatever you get ready, go ahead and invest in, and let me know how I do. So you don't feel like you out there by yourself, right? So making sure that the support, you know, the love is there for sure, but making sure that he understands it doesn't just stop with, I love you, we get the roof over your head, we got the clothes on your back. It also goes monetarily, you know, like that's what you into. We talk about his channel and everything. I remember sitting in Taco Bell, different places, recording him when he was young. We didn't think nothing of it, just recording him. Mm-hmm. But now that's what he loves to do. That's what he loves to do. That's what he wants to do. How can I support him? What you need, a computer? You need a mic? What you need for that? Let me know, because closed mouths don't get fed. So it's about understanding where they are, supporting them where they are, bringing them what they need. You say you need this, it might sound way off to me, but that's what he needs. He got the vision. He understands. I don't have to understand it. That's not my lane, but I do have to understand his need. So just making sure I'm bringing him. I have an older parents now, what y'all need. One's retired. He come over every day, my father, 2 times a day, right? I'm used to him working. He worked hard, manufacture, 7 to 7, night shift, all that, standing up at all day, steel-toe shoes. Now he retired. I'm like, Dad, what you gonna do with yourself? He don't know what he gonna do with himself yet, but he come to my house, right? I ain't even gotta be home. Sit on my porch, and that keeps him occupied.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where he's at now. He go to the gym. Before, I couldn't even get him to go to the gym. Now he's retired. They pay for the little gym membership. He let me know I'm going to the gym at noon. He got his plan, what he got. So it's just making sure that you checking in with the family, where you at, what you need, and being available, being able to hear what they're saying and being available, and not just what you want them to do and what you feel like they should do. It's meeting them where you are, because you got different generation. They doing different things and we understand. So you got to be able to hear them and pour into them.
Agree. Now, I might backtrack on you a little bit, but I want to go back to, all right, now, you said you help the youth and all that. Right now, how do you feel with the family dynamics? How do you feel family can help the youth right now? Because in my opinion, right now, the youth is in trouble because of families. You know, how do you feel? First of all, let me ask you this: when you see troubled youth, what do you see that they all mostly have in common? And then I want you to answer this one: how can family help the troubled youth, in your opinion?
You gave me 2 questions.
Yes, ma'am. My fault.
I'm gonna try to hit you with both of them. So, family, youth right now needed connections. They need to feel connected to something. Like, big up to our Lord and Savior, because he didn't put us here to do life alone, right? So when we think like, I'm gonna do this on my own, because I had that mindset. I'm gonna do this on my own. That's really just separation, right? Separation from what's really needed. We need to do life together.
Agreed.
Right? So when we don't feel like we have connection and we have somewhere to go and someone to talk to and someone to pour into us, we're going to figure it out on our own. And it just causes, it wastes time. Yeah. It really wastes time when we have to do things solo. But when you, from a family standpoint, can come together and see, like, this is how we love. And not all families do it in a healthy way, right? And not all of us have that traditional family. But we got to find someone, somebody as leaders that we can pour into. And also on the other end, we always have to seek out other people. I seek out other people to pour into me, because I cannot do it alone. Right? So we need the connections. The connections have to happen, whether they be community centers, churches, schools, teachers, cousins, uncles, whatever it may be. We gotta have the connection. We cannot isolate ourselves. Isolation causes a lot of mental issues, right? It's like you don't have nobody to talk to. You don't have nobody feeding into you. So where do you get what you need? So we need to stay connected. We need to, you talked about gatekeepers. We got to open up these gates.
Yeah.
We got to open up these gates and let people know, come this way.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a positive thing. And open up our mouths to say, I'm going to support you wherever you are. Just let's talk about where you are, so I know the support that you need.
Real talk. Real talk. And I agree. The connections, like you said, is nowhere to go. Everybody point to the youth, but the youth have nowhere to look for direction. We expect them to go a certain route, to behave a certain manner, and to go a certain distance and to drive in the traffic, according to traffic signs and all that shit. However, nobody taught them the rules of driving. They can't look up because, like you said, we gatekeeping, or we not putting the time and the effort into the youth. We forgetting. We like, oh, y'all figure it out. We isolating them. We keep saying, oh, we scared of the youth. I get tired of people keep saying they scared of the YNs. I'm not scared of the YNs. I want to help a YN. I don't even like calling them YNs. But if that's what they want to be called, that's what they can be called. I want to help one. I'm not scared of you, bro. And I'm not trying to be no tough Tony guy. I'm trying to be a friendly guy. Yeah. I'm opening up to you, bro. Yeah. We ain't got to be tough and Tony, man. Those days is over. A lot of opportunities, man. We can become something. Like you said, it's no connection. They don't see, like you said, they don't see that gate. They don't see, a lot of these gates are closed, so they don't see the direction. It is okay over here, bro. People ain't shooting guns in my neighborhood. Everybody eating in my neighborhood. They need to see that, you know? So I totally agree with that, man. I really do. And I want to go back, though. I asked you, with all the youth, what do you see? Oh, you answered that. My fault. I forgot what the second question was. I really did.
Connected with family. Like, what do they need to essentially receive from the family unit?
She said connections.
Oh, yeah, what's the connections? And she said the cousins and
so she answered both of them. Oh, that was dope, man. That was nice.
Let me add to that.
Yeah, one stone, one bird. That's that Brooklyn, huh? That's that Brooklyn. That's that coming from one city to another city, back and forth, knowing how to handle, like you said earlier, knowing how to handle two things at once. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was
Let me ask you this, Chenel. What is your definition of family?
My definition of family. Family definition is one, love, and love comes from the support of knowing that you can have a safe space. When I get with my family, they all different. You know, the cousins, they're all different. They mom is this person, their dad is this person. And it's respect there to know, well, what I do know is that's my auntie, that's my uncle. And I sit down and I love to watch. The definition is, because I didn't answer the question, the definition is just love, and it can't be. It's just not just blood only, right? I have a business mentor, Mr. George Smith. He's the founder of National Society of Black Engineers. He's family. Him, his wife, his daughter, grandson. That's family. Why? Because they pour into me from a business standpoint, right? So that's family. And family, you go see about them.
Yeah.
Right? So it don't even matter whoever's around me right now. If I'm coming to see about you, you bet to believe you family. Right? It doesn't have to be, I don't know what others say it is. It's just a love. It's who God places in your atmosphere, and they come and go. Right? They don't always stay for the long haul. It's just for the moment. That's family. And I know we take that word maybe lightly, but if you can pour into them and they can receive it, that's family. If they could pour into you and I receive it, that's family, because they took the time to hear what my need is.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that too. We always like to ask that. We have like a set of 4 questions. We always, every episode we at least ask one of those questions when we have our interviews. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. When we look at, no, let me go this direction. So behind the scenes, we got DJ and DK. DJ Shine, that's our shout out to Cuz behind the camera. I'm getting the angles together. Appreciate you, Cuz. They're both in their early 20s, and when we look at something that their peers need to hear, like they're getting exposed to this conversation, right? Their peers aren't in this room to hear this. If you were to craft a message for their peers being in their early 20s, what would you pass down to them that can help them elevate? Because you've said nothing but a whole bunch of wisdom since we started, since we pressed record. It's been nothing but wisdom coming from you. So what wisdom would you give someone in their peer group?
The wisdom, for real, first is, for real, keep God first. That's the one thing I tell my son. Make sure you praying. Make sure you have the higher power first and foremost. Because when you feel like you're out here alone, and you never are alone. That's the one thing. You never are alone as long as you have the relationship with Christ. That's one thing. And two, don't be scared to voice that inner thing in here, whatever it is. This is what I want to do. This is a vision I seen, and I want to do it. You got to have somebody you can share that with. They might not be able to help you manifest it, but talk it out, right? Because you got to be able to say a thing. You got to speak a thing. That's when it comes into fruition, right? In the imagination. In golf, we teach our kids, you put the ball on the tee, you look at the ball, you see where you want that ball to go. First and foremost, you have to see where you want that ball to go before you even mount up to get ready to hit that ball. You have to see it in the imagination. And so if you see a thing, you feel a thing, you say a thing, go seeking it out. Go seek out the people. You could talk to the little phone, right? See what the phone tell you, and then see who, look around you and see who's doing what. See who's fruitful. If you don't see fruits coming from them, then it's like, I don't know about this one, right?
Real talk.
But look around you and see who's prospering in a good, healthy way, in a positive way, prospering in marriage, prospering as fathers, prospering as family men, prospering in business, prospering in single life, spiritual life, whatever you into, look around you and see what that looks like. So you could go seek that out. Ask questions. You got to ask the questions. And then after you ask the questions, you got to be ready to listen and put that into action. Because you could tell people all day, I say this all day, you could lead them to water, but you cannot make them drink.
For sure.
Right? You could tell them, you could have all the knowledge and be like, yo, it's done, A, B, and C. And you watch them do nothing. And it's like, I just told this cat what to do. I just gave this cat
gave him the recipe.
They did nothing with it. And so you be like, are they serious? Why did they even come to me? So then you got to put the action. You got to put the work in. Because, right, you got to have faith without works is dead, right? That's what we say. So then you got to put the work in. And if you ain't putting the work in, don't expect this to manifest. Because you ain't did nothing. So I just encourage them to, hear what the wisdom has, the older generation has for you. It's going to come out differently, but hear it and then put some action into it.
Great. We actually, see what I'm saying? You've been coordinating with us all day. We are Action Brand. I like to call us the Action Jackson brand. Everything we talk about,
Action Jackson.
everything we talk about, man, we be about, So we talk about getting families together. Next year, you got to pull up to our family reunion. We just had one July the 12th.
Let me know. I'm pulling up.
Yeah. You can come up and so we'll support you. All of that. For real. And because getting families together. When the last time you have your family had a family reunion?
That's so funny. You asked. We get ready to have our first family reunion. So listen, folks.
Wow.
So it's not the first one. I shouldn't say it's the first one, but it's the first one in a long while.
Yeah.
It's happening Labor Day weekend. And where we gonna be at? We gonna be in Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
Okay.
Right from the south. So my grandmother and my great grandmother. That was another place we stayed at on the ports. Was Elizabeth City, North Carolina, not far from Virginia Beach. So we gonna have one of them family reunions. Everyone's looking forward to
Good
it.
food, good
Right?
vibes. I'm always talking about the food.
Vibe.
You see food.
You've been talking about the food.
The food. Hey, the food. The food. That's the first thing. Yeah, the food.
Yeah.
The
Like,
food.
my
get
name is Teron. I go by tip. I like food.
I like food. When you get, but no, food really bring people together. That's
does.
why. That's why they trying. That's why a lot of people take away these fast meals, because fast meals, if you believe it, the faster your meal is, the more separated you be. Because now these different restaurants and all that, now your family ain't eating the same meal all at the same time. And then Uber Eats really got it. So now we all can really eat in our rooms whatever we want, you know. But that's just so you know. But I'm glad that y'all having a family reunion. What made y'all do this? Like, is it something y'all?
Are you in charge of it, the coordinator and
I'm
everything?
not the coordinator.
Okay.
My cousin Will. Shout out to Will. He's an
Shout out to
educator.
Will.
He in New York. He's an educator in New York.
Big dog.
Of course, it's the New Yorkers.
You know, we gotta make it happen, right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta do that like that.
Of course.
So it was just time. New generation has popped in.
That's good.
The generation is the older generation. You know, they going home.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's
we
the
gotta
truth.
do something because we don't know each other.
Yeah.
And so that is important to know your family, know where they came from. Because what happens when you look at 10, 15 years from now? What happens? Who they have?
Yep.
And so we have to keep that. We understand that. When the last time you had a family reunion? You know, what did it look like? Did your kids get to go? Did they meet some new people, new cousins? What is it? We got cousins. I have a cousin. He's going into engineering as well. We just met in July 4th. We met him in July 4th. He's going into engineering. He's from Maryland, I want to say. And he was in North Carolina. I didn't know. We got another cousin going into engineering.
That's
but it was a
crazy.
blessing because now you need to talk to my son. He's already into engineering. Y'all need to have a conversation. Which engineering y'all going into? Keep the connection, because what's going to happen is you're going to get into your engineering space and I'm going to need a job. And I got to know cousin is an engineer as well, and I got to reach out.
Yeah.
Right? So again, you can't keep the gate closed. You got to open up, but it's easy now that you got Uber Eats and you got everything that makes you eat by yourself, alone. Again,
Like you keep saying. You
they-
keep saying that.
I'm
I just
telling
realized you
that
own something with that.
alone
You
thing
own
is
something.
Serious. That's
You own something.
That isolation brings you
That's
over.
what they doing. They
They
trying to
keeping you-
isolate
they
us. They keeping us
isolating you.
in the crib. They don't want us even next to each other in line, even talking to each other no more. You own something with the isolation. You keep people isolated. It brings people. What's that word? Sympathy. Less sympathy, less care for others. I see what you mean. I see where you're going with this. Because if you're in the room by yourself all the time and everything going and everybody in the room, people can care less about you. I can't feel that sympathy. I can't feel that connection because I'm not connected with nobody. So how can I feel sympathy for you when I'm not connected with people? You know, so
Right.
you own something with that.
You can't do life alone.
You can't
We
do
not
that.
created to do
No.
life alone.
We not.
At all.
We didn't get here alone.
No, we sure didn't. Shoot, and they didn't make us alone. Yeah, I always say that. I always say that.
We was together at some point.
Yeah. We
have a
all
conversation.
of us was, man.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. We got to make sure we teaching the youth that too. Make sure we teaching the youth and showing the youth that we can be together, that we can live amongst each other, and that's one thing I've been trying to make sure we do more, man. Just support each other. I don't know why it's so hard for us just to support each other. We get all these. Like I was telling these people, it's okay if you like buying a whole bunch of expensive stuff. That's great, but make it a black brand. All these, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We like to buy Gucci out. All these different things. The women like these Birkin bags. Why don't we say forget the Birkin bags? You can buy $1 million worth of bags and just make it a black company.
Yeah.
But hey, I just be preaching.
You got to support. We got to support our people.
Yeah.
We do. We do.
Right? We got to pour our money back into our people. We have to see entrepreneurship as successful
Success.
Gucci.
Yeah.
Right? We're all entrepreneurs here. We're all got something we have started.
I like how you said entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I like it's that Brooklyn
That
coming in. Entrepreneur. I want to say it like that now.
It got to be. Entrepreneurship is key. You know, it was crazy the first time I sat down, and when I created my sales, my business sales projections.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm used to, you know, you making $21 an hour. Okay, we doing something, $21 an hour. I sat down and did that business entrepreneurship projection sheet.
Yeah.
They said, wait, how much is a class? What that look like? I had no clue. I had no clue how to put the value on my profession, right?
Yeah.
So I started to do the work research, looked around, came back to the table. I was scared to even say it, right? So how much is a corporate class? What you charging? What's that look like? $225 an hour. $225, yeah. I gave them the $225. They said done, no problem. Next. What? After that, my head blew up, right? Because now that 21, wait a minute, is something wrong here? I could tell them what I want them to pay, and that's just for the hour. So in an hour, I made what I would make in 8 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm telling you.
Time, the value of the entrepreneurship just struck me. So then I'm hooked. I'm hooked on them invoices. Let me write them out quick.
I believe it be like that. It hit me like that too, cause I don't got really, according to the I call it the white man law. I don't got nothing underneath their law to qualify me. You know what I mean? So I don't got no college, none of that. I ain't got no certifications, none of that shit. However, you know what I mean? I always told people when my company, the original people. That's when I made the most money an hour. I said, this is when it is. So I had one of those too. I said, I forgot, it wasn't $250, but it was around $75 an hour. You know what I mean? I ain't one of those stunners. You know what I mean? I made $75 an hour one time. I said, damn, I ain't never made past $15 an hour. You know what I mean? I said, God damn. At that moment, I knew I was like, that's what I was missing. I was worried about trying to put into effort into all this other stuff in my whole life. My personality was an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship ain't for everybody, man. It ain't for everybody because I tell everybody, man, I've been learning that my brain is different. You know what I mean? And I just been embracing it, and I love it. But it ain't for everybody, and you just got to know who it is and who it ain't for. Yeah. And keep it 100. Just because it ain't for you, don't mean you can't do it. Because let me say this, because you can work for it. For instance, I told Cuz this. I tell him this all the time. He more like a Kobe. He got to practice and shit. I'm LeBron. It come natural, baby. You know what I mean? It come natural, baby. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with it. You just gotta do a little. You just gotta practice hard for your shit.
He throwing the subtle shot because I used to give him buckets when we were younger.
Hey man, you can call it what you want, baby. You can call it what you want.
And it would be the same story today.
Hey, you can call it what you can talk about basketball, man. You all day, man. Like I said, man. I'm LeBron with it.
He just ain't got over it yet.
I'm LeBron with it. I'm not even talking about basketball. I'm talking about with everything.
He not, but he was.
Everything outside of basketball, then. I'm better than you.
He got that confidence.
He can
Hey, Cuz beat me in basketball. I give him 100 though. But hey, everything else, I'm better than you, Cuz. I'm like I said, man. I'm LeBron James, man. Let me get back to on track, man. Some people got to practice more. Like some people, man, we born with it, And I'm there with you if you're born with it,
It's all right. It's all right. You got to know what your lane is.
What your lane is.
Right?
Sure. It's nothing wrong with it. It's
and
nothing
be confident
wrong
in
with
it and act in it. And what happens is you get this beautiful coming together.
Agreed.
Because everybody can't be the LeBron.
Everybody can't,
So you have to know who your key players are.
Agreed.
When and where.
Agreed.
And you got to seek them out. especially when you say that entrepreneur mindset, right? Because it is a different mindset. It's a hustle. Mindset, it's a grind, but then at the same time, it's a love. It comes easy.
Yes,
it comes easy. It's easy to be your own entrepreneur. It's like it's fulfilling.
Agreed.
It's different when you're trying to build somebody else's stuff.
Yes.
The enthusiasm. Depending on the mindset, you might be enthused to jump on, and as an entrepreneur, you have to have people who are enthused to jump on to your idea, right? Because you got to sell that.
Yep.
You got to sell that thing. You can't just wait for it to be like, oh, you like it? What you think? Come here, I got something for you, mama. Let's do this. And you have to sell that, and somebody has to want to be a part of that sale.
Agreed.
Right?
I agree. I agree.
Spot on.
Yeah, you gotta want it. You gotta have it. Because if you don't believe in yourself, how you gonna sell something?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. If you don't believe your product is number one, how is it gonna ever become number one?
You your best and biggest salesperson. Yeah. If you're an entrepreneur, ain't nobody else gonna sell your stuff better than you, and you cannot expect anybody to.
Yeah. How long you been an entrepreneur?
Ooh, I had my first company called Choice Fitness in 2008.
Okay.
All right. And so
this you ain't new to this damn game. She ain't one of these new entrepreneurs out here.
Nah, it grew. It and my mindset, I would go back to work. You had family, I had a baby, I had to figure out life at that time. So I was in and out of work and do that, get some experience, and then go back to my business. My first company, Choice Fitness, was individual personal training and wellness. And I liked it. It was cool, but it took a lot of time because I was only seeing one person at a time, and I had to hustle up one person. By the time I do 8 people, I'm exhausted. So as I grew in my profession, I realized, let me hit corporate. Let me get that one person who has all the people, and then I can make a bigger impact. The money's bigger too, but it wasn't just about the money. It was I didn't want to spend the 1 hour with the one person. I need a whole audience, and I knew that. So I think in 2015, Choice Wellness Company came into effect. I didn't know what I was doing at all. I had no clue what I was doing, but that's when my business mentor came into the picture, and he told me, you're going to need this, you're going to need this, you're going to need X, Y, and Z. I ain't know none of this stuff. Guess what? I needed all of that stuff. But I had it at my fingertips because he opened that gate for me. And when I was ready to have it, let me pull this back out of the archives and let me put it into practice. And that's what that partnership and that's what them relationships do. They allow the work to come easy. So where I would have been trying to focus on how do I organize this? How do I, get the projection sheets? That was already done for me. And it came easy so I could focus on the business at hand.
I like that because that's one thing I feel like I'm trying to get more stuff to focus on business at hand. So what would be your biggest tip to an entrepreneur who just with me? Because I think I only been an entrepreneur since 2020. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, I'm one of the new entrepreneurs. So what is the one of the biggest tips you would give to an upcoming entrepreneur?
Believe in yourself. Whatever's in here, go get it, go do it, go find out who's done it, what it looked like, and rinse and repeat. Okay, because sometimes you got to create. They say ain't nothing really new, right? So if that's the case, who's already done it? How did you do it? What did it look like? So I don't have to go down that lane of falling over and over, and we ain't got time for that. What you got is needed. So go find out who's already done it. Go be around them. Go sit with them. Go talk to them. Go study their stuff, and then change it up how you needed to change it up. But you don't rinse and repeat. I have programs that I created just came to mind. Let me create this. I created it. I didn't think nothing of it. I just created them. Then 4 or 5 years from now, somebody said, hey, you got your programs ready? We need something now. Oh, let me get this out the box. It's been sitting here. It's just been sitting there. And it's rinse and repeat going forward. Don't give up on what you got. Don't give up on it. Keep going. Keep getting. You're gonna get it. It might not look how you feel and envisioned it to look, but it's gonna come up. It's gonna happen, and just keep going. Keep grinding.
That's real. That's real. You got me thinking. You got my gears grinding. You got my other gears grinding. You got me thinking in real lifetime. And now I'm like, dang, okay, I need to go do that for real. Go find somebody who did X, Y, and Z so I can do X, Y, and Z for real. For real. You got me really grinding gears. Ain't that what they say? Yeah, my gears grinding. Yeah, that's like real. Rinse and repeat. That's one of the realest tips I done heard ever. Because like you said, a lot of times entrepreneurs, we fall trying to always do shit, just trying to create, always trying to up. Oh man, how can I be this creative to outshine? But if somebody already did something and they already outshine, just do that, man.
Rinse and
Simple.
repeat.
Simple.
It's simple.
You just ring the one of those light bulbs around my head. That's all it is.
Simplicity is key, and I also want to be respectful of your time too. So in closing, I know y'all got a journey to take. In closing, how can we support you? And also
make sure you let them know where you can they can follow you.
Yes.
Everything you got and all of that.
Yeah. Just, you know what? You got a group, you got an organization, whatever you have, bring that space of wellness, because what you really don't understand is who needs what, right? So again, going back to the start of this conversation, financially, intellectually, environmentally, physical wellness, you don't know who needs what, but what you can do is open up your groups. You know, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we think the sale is the biggest flex. It's really the connection. We need you to open up the portfolio. We need you to open up the contacts, right? That's what we need. You sitting on, oh, I got this group, I got this group, I got this group. That group need what you have as much as the owner needs what the group has, right? So it goes both ways. Open that up to your people, to companies. You know, I need T-shirts. I need collared shirts, right? That's what I need. That's how I got into golf. I needed some T-shirts, and I thought tees meant T-shirts. So
wow, okay.
That's how I got into golf. I was looking for T-shirts, and tees spelled out on the agenda was like, let me sit here till they get to the person who get ready sell these tees. And that's how I got into it. That's how I got it. But yeah, it is crazy. It falls into your lap, but I had to be willing to stay to the end. I saw what I needed. It was at the end, but it really wasn't what I needed, but it was what I needed. It was what I needed. You never know. And the one thing I will say is, if you don't come to the table, if you don't show up in the room, you missing out. And every day you got to show up. You got to go to that meeting. You got to go to that network event. You got to come in the morning to the breakfasts. You got to open up your mouth. You got to be present at all times. It's key.
Absolutely. And how can people reach out to you and find you?
Sure, you can find us on LinkedIn, Choice Wellness Company, Facebook, Choice Wellness Company, Instagram, Choice Wellness Company. You can send us an email, CWCHealth @Choice Wellness Company. We have a website, www.choicewellnesscompany.com. Choice Wellness Company. Yes, remember the name. Choice Wellness Company. You know, seek us out. Shoot us an email anytime. We there. We want to show up for you. We do health fairs. I mean, we do camps. We do church events. A lot of church events, just groups. If you know the group, if you got a group, Choice Wellness Company.
You know, next year when we throw our family reunion event, we gotta see how y'all can come help out.
Yeah, let me know.
For real.
We'll have that conversation, figure that out for sure.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Absolutely. Well, family, and we appreciate y'all for tuning in
Tipping
to
ain't
another
easy.
episode of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. We are the #1 podcast for families looking
Ernestine
to end that
Robinson.
generational dysfunction. As we always love to say, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
Peace.